ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम Mandalam 10, Suktam 94, Rishi, Arbuda, Kadraveya, Sarpa, Devata Gravana, Chandas Jagati Trushto. Instruments used for extracting Soma essence is the subject matter of this sukta. Crushing stones are used for extracting the grossest form of Soma, the essence of Soma plant. The ruks in the suktam are also applicable to cloud carrying the sweet water. Symbolically, the clouds stand for ignorance and Soma for flowing essence of Atma. Therefore, each ruk in the suktam can be interpreted in three ways, with reference to gross Soma, to water, and to spiritual Soma. Since the first interpretation is in vogue, that is being excluded here. Some samples of the other two versions follow. Praite vadantu pravayam vadama 10.94.1. May these clouds or stones make noise. We declare this speech for the sounding clouds or stones. O praisers, you chant it. When the non-liquid, fast-moving clouds maintain the sounding hymn of praise, along with you for Indra, offerers or possessors of Soma become happy. Comment. The cloud in the sky is non-liquid and fast-moving. They make noise and release pure water. Sacrificers praise Indra for the rainwater he showers. Seer of the Suktam is implying that the clouds thunder as though in praise of Indra. In the spiritual sense, the cloud is ignorance. Indra showers spiritual light by destroying ignorance. Ete vadanti Shatavat 94.2. These clouds or stones make noise like hundreds and thousands of men. They roar with their yellowish mouths. The clouds are virtuous by performing good deeds and are praised very much even before Agni Atma. They attain fit to be eaten food, water, or spiritual Soma essence. Implied meaning: physical cloud gets hold of fit to be drunk water, and ignorance cloud the flowing essence of Atma. Ete vadantyavid 94.3. These clouds, physical or of ignorance types, make noise and indeed procure the sweet essence, water or Atmiya Pavamana Soma essence. They make sound above the earth like in well-prepared cooked food. Eating the branches of the reddish tree, which may mean rays of the reddish sun or Atma, they which are well nourished and showerers of water or spiritual Soma make noise very well. Comment. Clouds get energy from the sun for extracting water. Ignorance make use of the spiritual light ray of Atma to extract flowing essence of Atma Soma. 94.4. Brihad vadanti Madirena Mandin. These clouds make tremendous noise by calling out to Indra with exhilarating essence, water or Atmiya Soma. Indeed, they procure sweet essence. Getting possession of it, these brave clouds make themselves audible to earth with rattling sound. Along with their sister-like water streams, they dance. The Rig gives a beautiful description of the rain-bearing clouds. Flowing essence of Atma Soma only activates Indra and all living creatures on the earth. Suvarna Vajam Akradova 94.5. Having good wings, ignorance clouds make noise near and in the space or atmosphere. Like the quick-moving antelope in or among a flock of animals, they move in the atmosphere containing drops of water particles or spiritual soma, which are as bright as the sun and are dancing all the time. Being or getting broken to pieces, the water or Atmiya Soma drops remain directed downwards onto the lower sides of the clouds. The clouds uphold much water or Atmiya Soma drops. Implied meaning, drops of flowing essence of Atma Soma shine with spiritual ray of light of Atma, which look like drops of water shining in sunlight. Ignorance associated with drops of Soma essence play among material objects in the space and living creatures on the earth. Ugra iva pravahanta samayamu 94.6. Showers of water or spiritual Soma essence. The clouds bearing the weight of water or spiritual Soma are yoked together to the drops of water or Atmiya Soma. Like formidable load-bearing horses, they, clouds, come together with drops of Atmiya Soma. When wind is blowing heavily, being led by wind, the clouds make noise very well. Their panting is known to be like the snorting of a horse. Comment. In the case of spiritual Soma, the wind blowing corresponds to the panting of its hard-working extractor. दशावनिभ्यो दशकक्षेभ्यो 10.94.7. O praisers, sing the praises for those carriers of sweet essence. They are having 10 preparers, 10 yokes and 10 harnessers, 10 girths and 10 ropes. They are being fastened 10 times. They are having 10 bridles which are undecaying. With reference to spiritual Soma, 10 harnessers are 5 sensory organs, 5 organs of action. For the physical clouds, they correspond to the presiding deities of the 8 directions and the space and earth. 10 bridles, girths, etc. correspond to each harnesser. Te adrayo Dashayandrasa Ashva 10.94.8. Those clouds are quick moving, having 10 supports or machines. Their resting place roams about the yellowish one. They only uphold the nectar of the foremost one, a share of the nourishment of the extracted Soma. The yellowish one implies the sun or the self. Nectar stands for immortality or for sweet water. Ignorance cloud upholds the nectar of immortal self, while the physical cloud upholds nectar like water. Te somado hari indrasya. 94.9. These soma consumers salute spiritual light rays or horses of Indra. In the ray spiritual, the clouds settle down, yielding spiritual soma. Indra, drinking the sweet soma essence extracted by them, the clouds grows, become extracted, and roar like a bull or caused to shower happiness. The essence of the Indra gets activated by drinking soma, flowing essence of Atma. 10.94.10. Vrishavo Amshurna Kila. O clouds, physical or ignorance type. Your soma is shower of happiness. It never fails. Possessed of refreshment, you are being made partakers of soma, in whose sacrifice you take delight. Like rich men, you become endearing to all with your greatness. Meaning, spiritual cloud or ignorance is being referred to here. With this clarification, meaning of the rig should become clear to most readers. Tridila, Atridila so, Adrayo. 94.11. O clouds, you remain indefatigable, are not coming loose, are not becoming loose, are deathless and free from sickness and weariness, and are free from decay. Also, you are immovable, are porous, are having no interstices, are very fat or big, are not greedy nor thirsty. Implied meaning of the rig. Though this rig is applicable to both physical cloud and ignorance, it makes better sense if the cloud is taken in the spiritual sense. Dhruva eva va pitaro yuge yuge. 94.12. O clouds, your forefathers or protectors who are external and are well-wishers, who are eternal and are well-wishers, did not arrange sacrifices. Undecaying you, who are occupied with ray and flowing with spiritual light ray, that cost the space and dust to hear with your noise. Implied meaning, sacrifices are arranged by living creatures. Enlightened souls are protectors of ignorance. They have realized Atma and so attained the deathless state. They are not sacrificers, or they are beyond sacrifices or all actions. Ignorance associated with Atma never wanes, and it is always moving with the spiritual light ray of Atma. Tadit Bat Andyat Drayo Vimochane. 94.13. In their movements, the clouds are like protectors of a mixture. In giving up or releasing, they make tinkling sound only. With their noise, they do that only. The devouring clouds lavishly give the seed, which is like the crop the farmers harvest. They do not judge or perceive the soma. Comment. Here the mixture is water or flowing essence of Soma, Atma. The clouds release their contents with tinkling or dripping sound. The seed means an infinitesimal quantum of spiritual light energy which activates an embryo of a living organism, or a water drop on which all living organisms depend for their existence. Sute advare adhivajamakrata. During the extraction of Atmiya Soma, in the knowledge sacrifice, respectful clouds make noise nicely, like a boy beating the mother playfully. O clouds, liberate the minds of the preparers of Soma, and then you roll onwards. This is the last trick of the Suktam. May ignorance liberate the minds of Soma extractors from its grip, and then roll on as before. May the seer of the Suktam be liberated by ignorance from ignorance. This is the essence of the Rig. Though outwardly the Suktam is quite simple, Rigs contain much implied meaning. This is brought out only very briefly here. We go to the next Suktam. Mandalam 10, Ashtagam 8, Chapter 5, Suktam 95. This is another famous Sukta. Rishi Pururava Aila Urvashi Devata Urvashi Pururava Chandas Trushto. This Suktam is to be considered as an imaginary conversation between a man who is dissatisfied with his day-to-day life and so complaining constantly, and Dawn, Usha, characterized as a damsel whom he thinks to be his wife. The damsel is said to be a seer of the Suktam. Hayejaye manasa dishtha ghore 10.95.1. A constantly complaining man who is never satisfied with his worldly life talks to a fleeting damsel who is like the all-pervading, daily appearing Usha. The complaining man's words, next is the complaining man's words. O ever-moving, venerable, terrible wife, stand firmly with or by your mind near me. We shall make words mingle, or we shall converse between us. These thoughts or speeches of ours are unuttered. Even in a day in the farthest future, this does not bring any happiness. Implied meaning of this Rig. The speeches given in the Suktam are not really uttered, which means that they are just thoughts in the mind of the seer, or this is just an imagined conversation only. The complaining man is unreal. Kimeta vaja kranava tavaham 95.2. The damsel like Dawn replies, what can be done with these words of yours? Like the firstborn among all dawns, I stride forwards. O much complaining man, you please go back again. Like wind, I am unapproachable. The Rig is supposed to be uttered by the dawn, who is the first among a series of dawns that are to follow. The dawn may symbolize spiritual dawn, which means the verse came from Jnanodayam. Ishurna Shriya Ishudherasana 95.3. complaining man's words. Pururavas. Impetuous I do not send an arrow from a quiver for victory. I do not shine in fighting for the sake of cattle in hundreds or in other non-heroic activities. Roaring men do not observe the bellowing or roaring in the wide space. This implies the complaining man is talking about his condition in the absence of dawn, ushas. He feels listless and lethargic. Here again, dawn may stand for dawning of spiritual knowledge. It 95.4 Savasu dadhati. The damsel says to herself, the damsel who is like dawn gives food and dwelling for the father-in-law. From nearby house she arrives at the home when desired. She is being struck day and night, yielding herself to a desiring superior force. Spiritual dawn is considered to be daughter of Savita, soul of sun, who is soul of the sun and married to Atmiya Soma. The self is then father-in-law. Atma is the father-in-law. For the sake of Atma, spiritual dawn provides dwellings, etc., which means the universe, and food for living creatures. She is being pushed around the earth all the time. This is the implied meaning. 95.5. 3. Sma. Mahna. Shanathayo. Vaidasenota. The complaining man to the complaining man, the damsel like Usha says, O constantly complaining man, I was being struck 3 times a day, yielding myself to a superior force. Moreover, you protected me who is not swerving from my path. Thus I was brought into contact with your house. Then you were the lord of my body. Dawn, implied meaning. Dawn is pushed in the morning to drive away darkness. She is pushed in daytime to bring in night, and at night time to bring in day, next day. She arrives at the house of a human being where she was well received, probably in the gross sense. Ya Sujurni Shreni Sumna. 95.6. The complaining man says, damsel like Usha, glowing brightly in succession and joined in affection, was moving, strung together as though having eyes in the heart. Those damsels having decorated reddish bodies did not flow or move now. Like milk-yielding cows, they do not laud me for prosperity or shelter. Comment. Because the man is not performing his daily duties and is lethargic, dawns are not lauding him. Duty of his born body is to seek for truth. This is the comment. 10.95.7. Samasmin Jayamana Asatagna. The damsel like Usha says, when he was born, the damsels like dawns came together. Then the flowing streams or dawns made him grow. O constantly complaining man, the resplendent beings are making the very you grow for the great battle and for the destruction of infidels. Implied meaning: a human being who is the son of a thoughtful or meditative man's daughter is born for performing sacrifices and for realization of truth. Physical dawns have made him grow for this purpose. Infidels stands for evil thoughts in an ignorant mind. 95.8. Sacha yadasu jahadishvat. The complaining man says, when mortal I, with his garment, namely the body, abide among these neglecting non-mortal beings, meaning dawns, then they run away from me in this place, like an easily guided, rapidly moving ferry, or like a horse attached to a chariot. Implied meaning: dawns go by, one following the other. This the complaining man realizes, but he remains lethargic, not attending to his duties. 10.95.9. Yada sumatto amritasu nispriksham Damsel's words. When a mortal man, by caressing words and by actions, comes in contact with these immortal dawns, then they do not adorn their bodies like ati, they are kind of aquatic birds. They do not sharpen their teeth like playing horses. Comment: a worldly man is not utilizing his dawns or days properly for seeking truth. To him, days are drab, purposeless, and not beautiful. 95.10. Vidyunnaya patanti. Complaining man's words. Who falls down or comes down like lightning, and who shines, procuring for me desires connected with water or atmosphere, and from whom an active, strong son of excellent nature is born. May that dawn-like damsel extend my life till such time. The substance of this slok is, this man is waiting for a dawn that will make him a worthy father of a strong, active son. 95.11. Nisha itha gobityayahi. Damsel's words. O constantly complaining man, indeed you are born for the protection of earth in this way. My vigor is given to you for that reason. Knowing that I direct you on all days, you do not hear me now. What has become of you that you talk like this? Usha is reminding Pururavas the purpose of his birth in this slok. She is also chastising him here for that reason. Why is he behaving like a crybaby? This is her question. The purpose of his birth is not to produce sons and grandsons. Kada sunu pitaram jata. 95.12. Pururava's words. When will that born son long for his father? Without knowing anything, when will he cry piteously and shed tears profusely? Who will separate such a husband and wife having the same mind? Moreover, which Agni is shining in father-in-law's house? Implied meaning. The complaining man, Pururavas, continues with his lamentations from the earlier work. Agni shining in the house of Usha's father-in-law is the spiritual Agni which keeps his heart beating during his lifetime. Next work, 95.13. Prati Bravani Vartayate Ashru. Damsel replies, means Urvashi. O complaining man, I replied to your questions as follows. He will shed tears, and in the thought or reflection of the auspicious one, Atma, making noise as though crying piteously. What of yours is there in him that vanishes? Please return home, O ignorant man, you will never attain me. Comment. The son gets only the seed material of the embryo from the father, and it is perishable. So there is no point in aspiring for a son. The immortal essence of life is in the abode of the self. One cannot attain that through physical dawn, Usha. Sudevo Adya Prapate 95.14. Complaining man's verse. May the good shining one, which means moving witnessing self, drop down now itself. Without returning, may he, the moving witnessing self, go to the farthest, most distant place itself. Then let him lie near the Lord of Death. Otherwise, may violent jackals eat this man's body. Comment. Unable to realize the truth, the man is expressing his despondency in this work. The truth is oneness of Atma in all living beings. Moving, witnessing self Atmiya Pavamana Soma is unreal. 95.15. Pururavo ma mritha ma pra papto. Damsel says to Pururavas, O complaining man, please do not wish to die and do not fall down here. May the dangerous jackals not eat your body. Female relationship never really last. These are like the hearts of jackals. The essence of this rak, the dawn is telling him that by engaging himself in procreation, one can never attain the truth of creation. This is itself a great truth. 95.16. Yad Virupacharam Marteshvavasam. When moving in diverse forms among human beings, I stayed with them in the night for 4 years and happened to eat a small quantity of ghee or water droplets daily. Because of that only I move, being pleased with myself. This is again continuation of the talk of Urvashi to Pururavas. The dawn seems to be saying that since she is drinking drops of dew daily, she is appearing for the benefit of mankind. Antarikshap Pram Rajaso Vimani Upa 95.17 Pururava's verse. The most excellent I endeavor to bring into my power the widely extending dawn, who is travelling through the atmosphere and is the measurer of the birds. May, giver of good deeds, I stay close by you. My heart is suffering pain. Please return. Here, the complaining man, Pururavas, is hoping for the dawning of spiritual knowledge. May that knowledge come to him and release him from miseries of day-to-day life. Last track of the Sutta, 10.95.18. Urvashi's verse. Iditva deva ima ahuraila aila. O son of a thoughtful man's daughter, these resplendent beings say this. Not becoming related to death, this alone is going to take place. Being born once, you will honor your shining beings with oblations. Abiding in your own self, you will also delight yourself. This can be treated as a kind of blessing from spiritual dawn, which she is bestowing upon the complaining man, Pururavas. Through this imaginary conversation, seer of the Suktam, who is thinking herself to be spiritual dawn, is reminding all thoughtful men the purpose for which they are born on the earth. Through procreation, none can know the truth about creation. Seek the truth by meditation on its cause. Birth cannot lead to birthless state. This is obvious. Logically, birthlessness cannot be the cause of birth. Only ignorance of birthless state can be its cause. Body attached Jivatma and birth are products of ignorance. We go to the next Suktam, Suktam 96. Shri Varu Aingarasa Devada Hari Chandas Jagadi Trushtu Pratemahe Vidathe Shamsi Sham Hari 96.1. O Indra, your horses or spiritual light rays are being extolled in this great knowledge sacrifice. You are endurer of enemies. We wish to gain the precious delight of yours. May these speeches enter you, who is having yellowish appearance, and you, with your spiritual light rays, sprinkle water, which is wonderful like ghee. The fact that the Suktam deals with Indra and his spiritual light rays is indicated in this rag. .2 Harim hi yonim abhiye samaswaran. They indeed praise the source of the spiritual light rays in the way the rays instigate the shining abode. Therefore, O praisers, you please adorn strength consisting of spiritual light rays for Indra, whom praisers satisfy with the rays like the cow satiating man with nourishing milk. The rays refer to spiritual light of Atma, which is the source of these rays. They inspire praisers' minds. The rays of Atma only satiates Indra. May praisers associate Indra with these rays which activate him. So, asya vajro harito ya ayaso 96.3. That Vajra, quantum of spiritual light energy of his, is made of iron and is yellowish in color. Vajra, which is like a ray of spiritual light, is pleasure-giving. Vajra is in the hands, in Indra's hands. He He is glorious, he is possessed of good cheeks and is stimulating the metal or spiritual light rays. Diverse forms which are yellowish mingle with Atmiyasoma essence in Indra. Vajra here stands for a quantum of spiritual light energy. The seer is arming Indra with the strength of Vajra, which is being described here. The second half gives a description of the wielder of Vajra, Indra. Divina Keturathi Thai Haridyato 96.4. He is placed upon or upheld like the bright sun in the sky. His Vajra is precious. He is speedy like a horse and encompasses all creation. That one which is made of iron slays the cloud. Ruddy-jawed Indra became emitter of 1,000 flames. Description of Indra and Vajra continues in this book also. 96.5. Tvama haryatha upastuta. Tvama haryatha upastuta. O reddish-haired Indra, manifested self, you are the presenter of gifts. You are praised by ancient worshippers. O born from spiritual light rays, Indra, be desired for that precious gift of yours, which is deserving the praise of all completely. Comment. Indra, the universal manifested self, is born from spiritual rays of Atma Soma. Precious gift of Indra is quantum of spiritual light energy or Atma Jnana. Ta Vajrinam Mandinam Stomyam. 96.6. Those pleasant horses or spiritual light rays bear the delighting, praiseworthy wielder of Vajra, Indra, in the delightful chariot. For that desirable Indra, yellowish drop of Atmiya Soma essence preserve many instigations or instigators or offerings. Comment. Flowing essence of Atma Soma only helps Indra in the creation of living forms. Soma provides the moving witness himself and activates the Jivatma in each body. Haram Kamaya Harayo Jadhanmide 96.7. Spiritual light rays preserve offerings for satisfying the desires of Indra. The rays incite the speedy light rays for the stationary Indra. He attains satisfaction with speeding rays of spiritual light. Indra attains his desire consisting of these rays. Spiritual light rays of Atma is preserving the moving witnessing self for Indra. Atmiya Soma activates Jivatma for all living forms. Whoever identifies himself with the spiritual light energy of Atma, he becomes one with it. He loses his self-imagined I-ness. 96.8. Harishmasharurur Harigesha Ayasa. Indra is having reddish beard and reddish hair. He is strong as though made of iron. Causes the drinkers of rays grow in the promoters of drinking, and is bestower of strength. With his fast-moving spiritual light rays, he takes us across all our difficulties. Comment. May rays of spiritual light of Atma present in our own bodies lead us to self-knowledge and free us from birth-death cycle. Sruveva yasya harini vipetatu. 96.9. His horses or spiritual light rays are falling down on us like streams or dharas and move to and fro for the good cheek Indra for strength. While Indra is drinking the exhilarating, nourishing essence of the precious one, Atma, the rays are being praised here. Implied meaning, rays of spiritual light associated with Atmiya Pavamana Soma are being praised here. Thus, the seer makes it clear that this suktam is in praise of the spiritual rays associated with Atmiya Soma essence, and hence with Indra also. Udasma Satma Haryadasya Pastyo 96.10. Moreover, the place of stay of the most precious one is in the homestead or abode of Atma. Possessor of spiritual light rays, Indra makes noise like a horse eating food. Indeed, a great wise man desires him with all his might. The precious one, Atmiya Soma, gives great vigor, spiritual energy to him. The wise man referred to here is the seer of the Suktam himself. Arodasi Haryamano Mahitva 96.11. O incorporeal being, desiring them, please fill up the space and earth with your greatness and quickly desire for ever new and endearing praises. Please make visible the precious homestead of the spiritual light rays and of the sun, who is the conveyor of water. O Indra, this is a comment. O Indra, please fill up the space and earth with material forms, living and non-living. May you show us the source of the sun, namely Atma. This is the gist of the rag. 96.12. Atva Haryantam Prayujo Jananam. O Indra, may your harnessed spiritual light rays carry you, who is possessing a lowish cheek and is desiring the welfare of all born beings in your chariot, so that you drink the presented sweet offering in this sacrifice, having 10 protectors or parents. 10 protectors or parents may imply 5 sense organs, 5 organs of action of the seer of the Suktam. Abha Purvesham Hariva 96.13. O possessor of spiritual light rays Indra, you have drunk the born or extracted Atmiya Soma essence or this hymn of ancient sages. May you revel in this sweet essence, Soma essence, showering happiness always. May you shower spiritual Soma essence in your stomach. With that, we conclude today's session. Viramastavat.